Thank you for joining me today, and we'll get started with some crafting. And I've got 2 cards that I'm going to show you today. This is the Sale-A-Bration brochure, and obviously you can see it online as well. And it's here until the end of February. So this papers that I'm going to show you today are the Dainty flowers. So this is the papers here, and there's a whole selection of cards and things that you can make. And there is a stamp set, or stamp and die set, that coordinates with this. I am not going to be using that today. I don't have it yet, but it's a very cool set that I will get. So you can use that alongside it as well. And if you want to check that out, that is on page 55 of the mini catalogue, and that kind of coordinates with it as well. But you can just use the papers on their own too. Let me show you the papers. So beautiful flowery designs here. So the colours used include Blushing Bride, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Old Olive, Rich Raspberry and Starry Sky. So some lovely sort of bright colours there. So this one here, a nice solid pattern. This one here you'll see is kind of upside down because you can cut in half, and then you've got, you know, that makes one card. Flip it around, whoops, the other way, and you've got the other cards there too. We have this pattern here, which is your more greens. This one here, so you've got these oval shapes, you can cut them out and make that the focal point on the card. This one here and another one. So they're obviously very flowery and mostly a variety of colours. If we flip the papers over, then they'll be a little bit more neutral. And you can see them here. So this is kind of a colourful water wash technique. We've got some Old Olive, Fresh Freesia, another kind of watercolory look, your Starry Sky, and then your Blushing Bride. So great sort of for a background and things, yeah, to use as well. So very nice papers. So whether you're watching this Facebook Live, whether you're watching the recording, or even watching it on YouTube later, thank you, appreciate that. All right, so let me show you the cards from today and what I'm going to make. So this here is the design that we're going to be making first. So that paper that I showed you, like this, basically I've cut in half. We'll do it the right way up, shall we? And then cut it into strips like this. So it's actually slightly shorter than half because that's 6 inches, which is 15.2. And the height of this card is 14.85. And then I've made it a strip of 7 centimeters wide. You can go for a bit wider if you want less of a border. And then the colored piece behind it, you can either put 2 strips, or I've done a solid piece behind, which is 7.5 centimeters, so just a little bit wider. So you can go for very simple. And I've added some white thread there. And I've stamped directly on it, and then added a couple of sparkles, so that's with the champagne rhinestones. This one I've stepped it up just a little bit. I've got some of the linen thread. This time I have embossed the sentiment on a little piece, and then I've cut it out with, well, not cut it out, but I've cut the edges with this punch here, which is one of the newer ones in the catalogue. And it is called Happy Labels. Yeah, Happy Labels Pick a Punch. So in the back of the mini catalogue is like a index, I guess, of all the different things that we have, the stamp set bundles, the stamp sets, dies, punches, paper, so you can have a quick reference, and then you can see where it is 53 in the catalogue. So that's quite useful if you didn't know that was there. All right, so you'll see I've kind of done, because the Rich Raspberry and Old Olive are in the cards, I've kind of done an alternative, the opposites. So Rich Raspberry with Old Olive, and then Old Olive with Rich Raspberry behind. So we'll make one of those cards now, and then I've got another one to make and some other samples to show you too. All right, so we'll move that one. Which do you like more? Do you like the Rich Raspberry background or the Old Olive? Be interested to know. Okay, so yeah, so this is my piece, and then I'm going to adhere onto here. If you want to be, often I'm quite economical and I'd put strips behind, but today I've just done it a little bit wider. We're going to hear that, and then I'm going to put my twine around it, or thread, so that you can see that. All right, glue might be helpful. We'll glue that down and get started. All right, here we go. So tape, glue, whatever you prefer. So each card will be a little bit different because of where you've cut and what images you're going to see, but that's all fine. And then before we put that on, we need to do this. So you could do it in white, or you could do it in that. I quite like that. Right, yes, some people are saying both are nice. I know it's hard to kind of decide. They are both quite nice. All right, so I'm going to grab some tape to put my twine on. And although I'm organized, I have buried it. So let me just grab some. Grab some tape. Here it is. Okay, so I'm just going to use my seal. Some people love these and some people find it frustrating. I quite like them, but I do like the glue because you can adjust it. All right, I'm economical with my thread. So we're going to start here, go across the front. Those that have been to my classes or watched my Facebook lives before, my videos, will kind of know this trick. Saves winding it around and around, which uses obviously a lot more. And then I'll get to my ribbon scissors, which are the ones with the red on it, only for ribbon and twine and things. So there it is there. So can you see how I haven't gone all the way around? And then we can put it on the front. I can tie my bow later. So there we go. So we want to get it as straight as possible. Excellent. And then we'll just get a little piece of this and tie a bow. I might just trim it now. Hopefully I've made it long enough. So don't you love these papers? I love the colors that it uses, and I don't need too many extra tools to make these cards. The main focus is the papers, and then you can just add some embellishments like some ribbon or some thread and then stamp a sentiment. So quite easy. So if I wanted to make this very easy, let's just take that out the center there, I could stamp directly onto here, which is what I've done on that one. I will step it up just a little bit so you can see what I've done, and I will emboss. So when I emboss, I'm going to use my embossing bunny to get rid of any static. I'm going to use my Versamark ink and my stamp. And it's good, if I have one handy, with photopolymer to stamp onto here. It's a bit spongier and it'll give a better impression. So I don't know if you can see that, it's a bit hard to see. All right, the tray is quite, oops, where did I put it? Oh no, oh no, I thought I'd squashed it, but it was on my cloth. So this embossing toolkit's quite useful for embossing, so I'm just going to sprinkle that on. I'll actually try and see if I can get most of it back in. Little flick. I think I've taken a little bit off the edge, so we'll just kind of cover it up again. All right, so that embossing buddy helps to get rid of some of the extra static and things. And then I'm going to use my embossing Nordic heat tool. So hopefully it won't make too much noise. I do have tweezers, which sometimes might help with holding it because it's quite a little piece. And you'll see it just go shiny and brighter with the white. Come on, day, waiting for the day to go to. There we go. Beautiful. Now I could just leave it like that, or I could frame it or something, but I will use this new punch. Yeah, rich raspberry is a lovely colour. I haven't actually used it for a while. So push it in. It is quite short. You could always have a look at the back and see and make sure it's straight. It's going to be harder to do the other side because it'll be a fraction shorter. You can use a post-it note to help hold it. All right, and now we do the other side. So if I kind of slide it and use the guides. No, I haven't poked it in enough yet. Which one? That side there. And punch. No, we're not going all the way. Why are we not going all the way? There we go. Right, now we have, and then I've got to get out again. Maybe next time I'll make it a fraction longer. All right, here we go. So I'm going to pop that on with dimensionals, and then I'm going to add some sparkle, and then that card is, oh, not quite done. We need to do the inside. So dimensionals, just, yeah, add that dimension, raise it up, but fairly nice. And that kind of helps. Probably shouldn't have done it quite that high because of the embellishments, but that's all right. I can put them in different places. So this one is the iridescent pearls. This one's got the champagne ones. So decisions on what to use. I like the way that kind of picks up the colour that is around. So let's see which ones I find first. I've got them both here. So what colourings do you like? Maybe this one. So I use my take your pick tool, which I find good for picking up. I think that one's in the bag. Is it inside? Or on the out? No, it's on the outside. Can't quite tell. Is it? On the inside. Oh, we'll just go with these ones here. So odd numbers are good. So let's put one here. Oops, it stuck to me. Oh dear. One there. There we go. So it has got adhesive on the back. We'll go for another small one. I don't know. Decisions. Where shall I put it? Or maybe we'll go up here, something a bit different. You can have a play. Where do you like to put yours? All right, so that's the first card. So nice and simple. So basically we're letting the paper do all the work for us. Not too much stamping. So this is the paper that I've cut into strips and a little bit of a board around it. Add the the embossing, or just stamp directly on it. Now the stamp set that I've used for this is the Beautifully Happy one, which is another one available through Sale-A-Bration. Of course there is the Dainty flower one that goes with the set, which has got some lovely sentiments as well. Or just use, what you've got. Okay, so the second card I will make, and then I've got others to show you at the end too, is using the framed florets, which I have used before. So I'm using another sheet as a background, and the oval is doing a lot of the work. So the sheet that I've got here is this one, and it's got a slight pink tinge to it. Sticking with the rich raspberry and the old olive. So cutting these out, gone for a white there, and then the old olive in the middle. So therefore I have, embossed that as well, heat embossed. Okay. We are going to go for this one, but I'm going to change up the colouring and I'm going to try it with the old olive. So we'll see what that looks like. So pre-cut these ready to go. So my card base, standard size, 14.85 by A4 card size width, 21, scored at 10.5. And then I have made this 10 centimetres by 14.3. This one's for the inside, 9.5 by 13.8, and that's the same as this one here. But to be economical with my card, I have used this die and cut it out. Now I only want the oval, and then I've cut another one in the white. So that's going to go on there like that, and of course it's going to be covered up. Come down a bit, sorry. So no one would know that that is there. So it's just being economical with your papers. So let's glue that on ready. So the ovals I've used are the framed florets, which I'll show you. afterwards as well. So that one first, then my DSP. So I'm not winding any twine or anything around, so I can stick that one down using my glue, my liquid multi-purpose glue. Just don't use too much. There we go. All right, so we're going to stamp this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do green this time, so it's just taking that colour. Therefore, I'm going to stamp in the Old Olive. So let's get some Old Olive out, and we'll compare the two, and you can tell me which one you like. All right, so we'll bring back our mat. Oh dear, I've got a little bit of, must be on my finger, Old Olive. We'll try and hide it somehow. Oh dear, and now I've got a mark there too. I guess we could turn it over, but it cuts better on that side. We'll just go with that. See, it happens to the best of us. Okay, now if I glue this on first and I did it slightly wonky and then I put this on, obviously that's going to be wonky. So I, for this particular one, like to sort of line that up first, and then I can put that around nicely so it frames it. So let's do that. So I'm going to put that on first, sort of trying to line up the For a Beautiful, because that's sort of straight, the other's a bit more curvy, level with the card, and then we'll put that on. So I can either put glue on here or just a thin layer around. Then I'll place that over the top. Beautiful. Okay, so then what I've added is a little bow. So I've used the crinkled white seam binding ribbon, because that can go with any colour, and you can colour it with blends too if you wish. And then added some pearls and things. So I need, got my mini glue dots, but they're not in the box. Here they are. So we will grab a glue dot with our ribbon. I try not to touch them too much. We'll put that, I'm going to put it a little bit higher to kind of hide that a little bit. And then some sparkle. So let's go with one up here. These are kind of bigger ones. We'll do one there so it kind of hides that a little bit. And find a smaller one. There we go. Oh no, down there. This one's got 3 on it too. Okay, so to finish it off, I've done the layers like the front, so the green and the white, and then I've used a strip of designer series paper to kind of tie it all together. So let's go with the green. Now this one I wouldn't tend to do a die cut image out, even though it can't be seen, because when you're writing your words, when you're writing your message, it would be a bit bumpy. So I do like to keep that piece flat and whole, if that makes sense. All right, so glue those on, and hopefully I have a little spare strip. Goes that way. Then, oh no, I do need to trim it slightly to make it, so we'll make it the 9.5, so it is the same as the inside. Perfect. And that's kind of done. So these cards are mostly, well, use a lot of the paper. Obviously this one stepped up a little bit with the framed florets, but still the paper is a large focal point of it. Which one do you like? Do you like the rich raspberry, or do you like the Old Olive as the prominent colour? I'd be interested to know. So I'll show you that particular set I've just used. The frame florets bundle. I've used the stamp set on the and the dies, and it's on page, I can't see what page it's on. It's not telling me. 65. So this is it here. So the these did come out early, so they've been out for a little while, but in this catalogue, and then the dies here as well. So beautiful set. I love the ovals, and this one's quite a nice, elegant shape, and the hearts and things as well. So you've got 3 different kind of ovals. So I hope you like these cards. I'm going to show you a few other variations with what I've made using these papers as well. So there's the 3. What do you like? I think my favourite's probably this one because I just love that rich raspberry colour, but it'll be interesting to see what you like. Okay, so other cards. This one here, quite simple. So I've used the oval, I've just cut it, no dies or anything. Given it a slight border with the Starry Sky DSP, slightly bigger than it, and then put it on a Fresh Freesia card base. Added kind of a double layer of white twine to make it sort of stand out a bit more, and a bit of sparkle, and I haven't done the inside yet. But there you go. So, and you can just put whatever sentiment you like on the inside. And stepping it up using that same oval, we've gone for a few more layers here. So again, we've used that oval, but this has been cut out with the rectangle dies, and there's a few layers. So remember I showed you the other sides of these papers. So we've got the blue and the Blushing Bride. So they're in the background, and they're the same size but angled, and that one's a little bit bigger. And if you look really carefully, there's even another layer of blue, and that's embossed right on the edge, but you probably need to see that in person. And then this one's got some DSP going down the middle with the layers on the inside too. So because of the shape of the rectangles, because they're a little bit shorter than our card, that card you will see is a little bit shorter than this one. But yeah, so here is a variety of cards using the papers. And that's not using the die set that goes with it. So lots of, you know, potential there. And you'll see this one is quite different colours. So we've got lots of rich raspberry and old olive. And then this one's is your more blues and pinks, which is quite a nice contrast. And then your Fresh Freesia and Starry Sky and things. So yeah, lots of fun with those. So if you are interested in purchasing anything through Sale-A-Bration, so place an order of anything, can be in any catalogue, mini, annual, clearance. You spend $110 or more, then you can choose these wonderful Dainty flower papers or something else from the catalogue. And there are some things, if you spend a little bit more, then you can get as well. So there you go. So I hope you liked this video, like these cards. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time today. If you are watching on YouTube, please, if you enjoyed the video, please like it. Please subscribe to my channel. And otherwise, just keep coming back each Thursday for my Facebook Live. So I hope you enjoyed seeing all these cards and things today. And I appreciate you being here.